My name is Robert B. Foster from Cranston, Rhode Island, and my superpower is helping other people find the power in their stories. And how I discovered this superpower, I was already a solid speaker, being a fitness coach, being a sports coach as well. I was always in leadership ever since the age of 15, but it was actually in 2020 when the gyms were shut down, I launched a podcast called Shut Up and Grind with Robert B. Foster. And throughout that process, I learned a lot of people struggled telling their own personal stories. And so being a fitness coach, there's principles that I instill in people, and there's certain processes that I help people, whether it's lose weight, whether it's build muscle, run faster, run longer, track and field training. Everything, there's a process. So I wanted to extract the lessons from those processes and help people navigate their own personal stories. So going back to 2020, I joined a mastermind group about getting media exposure. And during that process, people would go through and they would introduce themselves, and a lot of people were really bad at it. So I started inboxing people saying, hey, I think I can help you out with that intro. It's like, hey, I think I can help you out with that intro. And as I started working with more and more people, I realized there's a need for this. Now, I've gone through speaker training, myself, professional speaker training, but it wasn't broken down really, really in depth. Because people focus on what happened. I help them focus on how did you get through it. Because that's where the true power lies in that story. And there are people that have been speaking for decades that sit down with me and we still uncover parts of their story that are missing, that have the capability of saving people's lives, like actually saving people's lives. Because right now, somewhere in this world, there's someone that's hanging on by a thread, and the way you tell your story can keep them from taking their life. That's how powerful storytelling is. And then we break down the why so they can go on to inspire other people. Oh, you're gonna try to make me cry on set with this one, right? So I'll give you the first one. The first one's not the tearjerker, but I realized that I was no good at business. Like, I was very good at connecting with people. I was very good at inspiring people, motivating people, attracting people, but the business end I wasn't very good on, and I'm still not very good on. I'll be fully transparent. So I aligned myself with a couple business partners who were very good in business, and the fitness part of the business really soared because they were focused on what they were doing. I was focused on what I was doing, but then there was a breakdown, and then we went through a pretty exhausting and costly legal battle, and that was rough. And I went into a darkish place when it comes to trust. So I spent the next several years doing my business just myself, and I know I cost myself probably hundreds of thousands of dollars because I wasn't able to trust after that process. So now moving forward, watching my father get sick and then ultimately pass away, that was very, very tough. But that also propelled me to pursue speaking, because while he was sick, he ended up with stage 4 heart failure. So I knew it was a matter of time, but just watching him get just sicker and sicker and lose more and more weight, it's like I wanted to take that moment and find the power in it. Like, this was my turn to actually practice what I preach about helping people find the power in the story. So the time came for us to end care. And he had 3 generations around him. We all got to hug him, kiss him, tell him we love him. My mom played their sweetheart song. She sang it to him. And then we had the machine turned off. And just watching the color leave his face, at that moment, I was like, one of the last things I told him was, I'm gonna make it as a speaker. And he said, get out there and do it. And so navigating that was very, very difficult. I'm one of 7 of his kids, and we all took it hard, obviously, but I wanted to take it and do something with it. So the very next day after he passed, I had a podcast episode, and I opened the podcast talking about it. I said, because there's no reason trying to keep these feelings in. And so I spent the first 10 minutes of the show just bawling my eyes out, talking about the experience. But what that did was it connects the readers, What that did was it connects the audience because someone has lost someone at some point. So being able to get in front of a live audience and be that vulnerable, that actually shifted how I tell the rest of my stories and how I encourage people, especially men, because men think it's weak to cry, but it's actually the ultimate strength. But showing that on that live public forum, let the audience see that I'm a real person with real emotions. So navigating those two things is what really helped mold me into the type of speaker that I am today. So the number one lesson that I learned on my journey is that you're not selling a thing. You're not even selling a service. You're offering a solution. So on the gym side, when people come into the fitness facility, I don't even walk them around the facility. We go in the office, why are you here? Because most people don't join a gym because they're feeling great about themselves. So they're usually coming off of some type of struggle, whether it's a breakup, divorce, whether they lost their job, whether they lost someone close to them, and they're looking for an outlet. So I structure my program to be just that, to be an outlet, not just something about losing weight or looking good in a bathing suit or getting back into a certain size pants. It's about overcoming the struggles of life. And once I adopted that mentality, because I used to be afraid to death to sell. Like I thought selling was sleazy and it was dirty and it was unethical. But then once I realized I'm actually helping people change their lives and I'm offering a solution. Like I'm not selling them anything. So once we get to what problem they want fixed, then I start talking about the ways I can help them. I don't talk about the state-of-the-art treadmills or these weights, these kettlebells. That stuff doesn't matter. Like what matters is that we have the tools to get you to what it is you want to accomplish. And on the storytelling side, it's the exact same thing because most people focus on the what happened versus the how did that not break you. Now just to give a quick example, I worked with a woman who found her brother dead and she couldn't get off of that moment. And so I met with her, we spent about an hour and a half together, and she started a gym for her own outlet so she can heal her own mental health problems following that event. And I sat down with her and we just dissected every inch of what happened. And so long story short, I told her, I said, this place should be an outlet for women who have gone through trauma and make it a memoriam for your brother. And so from that incident, we turned it into something powerful that will help her heal and that will keep her brother's memory alive.
It's a great day. My name is Shay Brown. I just want to speak to you, the speaker, or maybe not even a speaker, right? Maybe you're not a speaker, but you have a message inside of you that you want to release, or maybe you have a story, right? A story of your life, a story in your career, or maybe as you're listening right now, you're an expert, right? You're an expert at teaching people how to do something. You're an expert at raising kids. And I want you to imagine for a moment that you had an opportunity to share your message or your story on a bigger stage. And I'm going to talk about that in a moment and what that would mean for you if you could reach your target audience. If you're an entrepreneur, if that target audience got associated to the problem that you solve, or if you're a super entrepreneur with sales funnels out there, not only did it get associated to who you were, but they were able to join your list. Now, for other folks, that won't make no sense at all. But for you, the entrepreneur, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I want to invite you over to something called the Comeback Champion Summit. And the whole purpose of the Comeback Champion Summit is really to do one thing, which is one word, and that is possibilities. That's right. When you get a chance to get on stage, you get a chance to do it virtually, and some of you maybe in person, and you get a chance to share your story. So something deep inside of you. I always say your message, because some of you have a message or your expertise. Then guess what happens? 3 things happen. Number 1, you get to make a difference. And isn't that why you are on this earth? I mean, I don't want to get emotional here, but you're really on this earth to make a difference for someone else. Something has happened to you so it can go through you to someone else. And being able to speak on a platform that provides an audience, it's like having a microphone that allows you to help more people faster. So that's number 1. Number 2, when you're on a platform, I'm going to invite you to the Comeback Champion Summit, you get a chance to have more meaning in the world, to have more impact, and to have more influence. And that's really who we're looking for. We're looking for folks out there who have an interest, want, or desire of serving others. So if that's you, I'm going to invite you to go over to www.comebackchampionsummit.com. Again, comebackchampionsummit.com. Click the button. It'll say apply to speak. Go through the process. And if it's a good fit, can't wait to share your story over at the Comeback Champion Summit or any one of our platforms that serves other folks. With that being said, my name, by the way, is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone, and we'll make some good things happen. We connect again real soon. See you out.
That, my friend, is a solid question. So if I was able to go back in time and have a conversation with my 21-year-old self, I know exactly what I would say. Don't listen to people telling you that because you dropped out of college that you're going to be stuck managing restaurants. Yes, you're 21. Yes, you're a general manager. Yes, you're still a little salty that you didn't make the Olympics. But let me tell you, that knee injury is going to become your greatest blessing. So I'm not going to tell you what's going to happen. What I am going to tell you is, remember, you love to talk. As great as you were as an athlete, remember in high school, they voted you most talkative. They didn't vote you most athletic. So step into the fact that you love to talk and just know that you can do something far beyond that restaurant. So I'm not going to tell you anything else because everything that happened led me to where I am. So if we change any of those events, then my world's going to change. What I want you to do is get a financial planner because you're making good money right now, but you're blowing it all. You're blowing it all. You don't know about credit. Get your credit right. Then that way, when the time comes and you realize where your superpower is, you're going to be ready to receive that blessing. You're going to be ready to go out there and become a global inspiration. You're going to be ready to handle the wealth/fame that comes with that. Because if you do not, then you're going to end up where I was, exactly where I was. So by taking those steps now, get your finances right, learn about investing, learn about credit, stop listening to people tell you what you can and can't do, because it's all lies. I was able to do it, but it took me a couple decades later more than it should have. So if you can dial that stuff in now, by the time you're 30, you're going to be set. Okay? You are going to be all set. So that's my advice to you. You know, with entrepreneurship, there's peaks and there's valleys. So I've experienced peaks, and believe it or not, right now in real time as we speak, I'm currently in a valley. But I'm working on a major peak that's about to happen. Going back to storytelling, I've actually created a program that I haven't even fully launched yet because I've been beta testing it over the past couple years and just finding the right formula to help people unlock the power in their stories. And I'm working on a high-ticket item that's gonna completely take my life to heights that I might not even be ready for at this moment because I haven't hit them yet. But again, that's authentic, it's true, and it's gonna be powerful. Like, that's the thing. So the people that have gone through it so far, like, quick story, I'm working with someone in Ireland right now. He has a video counseling business, and he's all over the place with it. And so in getting into his story, why did you become a counselor? Why is that important to you? What problems do you want to solve? We completely, I don't want to say redirected, but I just helped him to see a bigger vision. And to me, that's the biggest payoff, is helping someone who's just stuck in that hamster wheel and help them to be able to get off of that hamster wheel without having to learn anything new. Like, your life experiences are your life experiences. You just have to know what to do with it. So if you're feeling depressed, what are you going to do with that feeling of depression? That has to push you somewhere. And if it doesn't push you somewhere, it's going to continue to consume you. So my program is going to address that need, not from a medical standpoint. Like, I don't have a medical background, but I've been alive for 48 years and I've been through some stuff. And all the stuff that I've been through has helped me mold this program into something that can help people going through anything, whether you lost your job, whether you're going through grief, Whether you're not on the career path that you want to be on, this program is going to address that. And it's global, because struggle is global, but the grind is also global. So I help people take that struggle and turn it into inspiration so they can live the life that they want to live. So why do clients want to work with me? Because I am the man, that's why. Now, on a serious note, people work with us primarily because they've seen me speak. They've either been on my podcast or they've been in an audience where I've spoken, and they've connected with my story. So now, education isn't always relatable, experiences are. So everything that I speak about is not something that I learned in a book, and I'm not knocking education. Everything I speak about, I've been through. So if I'm counseling someone or working with someone to get through the rigors of divorce, I've been divorced. I've had a horrific knee injury where I was told I would never run or jump again. And I'm currently undefeated in track and field, and I've done 170 obstacle races. So I've defied the odds. I've overcome obstacles. So everything that I'm helping people go through, I've been through. I've watched my father pass away. One of my daughters currently doesn't want to talk to me. So talking to people about parenting, I have lots of parenting experience. I've done it. I've been through it. I'm dealing with the hurts of all of those things, because that's the relatable part. To just talk at someone about something, that's not relatable. But to be able to sit there, look them in the eyes, maybe even teary-eyed, and feel their pain. That's one of the biggest things people want, is they want to be understood. They want to be heard. They want to know that you understand. So at Robert B. Foster, LLC, we come from that place, right from the heart, from a place of understanding, to get through the heart of what it is you're going through and what do you want to do with it. So you got divorced, it was ugly, bad legal battle. What do you want to do with that information? Do you want to help other people better mitigate their divorce? Do you want to just get up and tell your stories to let people know how tough it is and maybe encourage people to try to work it out? You have options. There's things that you can do. Working with athletes who get injuries where the doctors may give them a grim diagnosis, and I can let them know my kneecap was 5 inches up my leg when the doctor told me I was never going to run a jump again. And that first time I ran, granted, I looked like a newborn giraffe, but I ran. I was able to get back out there and to make a full recovery, to get back on the track. And I have 16 gold medals since I got back out on the track. I've been through it. So if you want to work with someone that's felt the pain, that's felt the struggle, where someone's tried to clip their wings and tell them, you're not going to be able to do this, you won't make it as that, you don't have the education for this, let's sit down together and let's squash those myths together. What I enjoyed most about this experience is everything. Like actually, from the second I walked in the door, people were friendly, welcoming. They have a whole spread of snacks out. People constantly asking, are you okay? Making sure we knew exactly what to expect. And that was the biggest part, is just feeling welcomed. So sometimes, because I've been on TV and stuff before, and you walk in and you're just like an outsider. I never got that feeling here. From the second I walked in, it was like I was walking into, almost like a family reunion. And so the professionalism, the setup, the knowledge, the know-how, and just the overall preparation. Like I wasn't nervous at all. And being a speaker, we get nervous too. But I actually wasn't nervous at all, maybe a little bit before I walked in. But once I walked in, just the atmosphere was incredible. And I would absolutely do this again. And if you're on the fence about doing this and working with this crew, I challenge you to do it, because it's going to be worth it. You're going to have a great experience, and you have an opportunity to further your business. So why would you not?
Thank you so much for watching the Making of an Entrepreneur DocuSeries. I just want to take a moment to talk to you. That's right, you that's watching right now. You the mom, or maybe you're the dad, Or maybe you're an entrepreneur, or perhaps you're an auntie or uncle, but you're someone out there that has a heart to give, you have a heart to serve, and as you're watching this Making of an Entrepreneur DocuSeries, you may be thinking to yourself, wait a minute, I've had some life lessons, I've had some setbacks, I've had some experiences, I've gone through some things that have helped me become a better person, and I want to take that and I want to release that to other folks. Okay. Maybe you're a speaker and you're already doing it. Maybe you've written books and you've already done that. Or maybe the story that's inside of you, the expertise that's inside of you, the message inside of you, this is the right platform for you to make a bigger difference and a bigger impact in the world. Now, this whole Making of an Entrepreneur DocuSeries, if you had to sum it up in just one word, and it's kind of hard to do that, but as I'm talking to you and you're listening right now, you might be saying, Shay, what's the one word? And the one word I would say is just legacy. Legacy. There's a legacy I understand that you want to leave for your family, and I get that. But there's also a legacy of your knowledge. There's a legacy of your expertise. And think about this. You're able to share your message or share your story or share your expertise. And long after you're gone, they still have a window into the soul of who you are and the impact that leaves behind. If that's you and you someone that's want to get the information, you're someone that's ready to do something bigger than just your business and bigger than just making more money, but you want to have more meaning in the world, do me a favor. Go over to www.themakingofanontrepreneurdocuseries.com. I know that's a long email, a long address, but I want you to hear it again one more time. Themakingofanoentrepreneur.com. Now, when you get there, just put your first name and your last name and your phone number and information in there. Worst case scenario, you have a meeting with the team and decide, hey, me being a cast member, this isn't a good fit, but I had a lot of fun. Best case scenario, you decide to take a step. Folks understand your backstory, understand what you've been through, and the world is much better off while you're here. And when the day comes and you decide to transition and move on, it's still doing very, very well. So with that being said, I just want to pop in. Thanks a lot for watching the Making of an Entrepreneur series. My name is Shay Brown. I want to encourage you to continue to watch, and I'll see you at the next episode. God bless.